Folks, listen, this is what we had to do. First and foremost, what it do, y'all? Welcome to Team No Sleep. We in the building. James Hicks here. Y'all know me. I got I got a gang of folks behind the scenes right now. Tonight's gonna be a show. Tonight's gonna be a show. Montel is out doing what he has to do. I'm not gonna talk bad about him. I'm not gonna put him out on Front Street while he's doing things with the family. But I will say that we're gonna be well represented. I'm not gonna bring them on one at a time, but I'm just gonna bring everybody on. Ladies and gentlemen, just let this marinate real quick as you look at the folks on the screen. My gosh! And look who we got in the middle. Got my man. Let's do this. Let me lock in. Let me get focused. This is. I put the call out looking for some folks that could join, and family came in and said, "We here for you." So I appreciate these gentlemen who said, "Listen, if you need me, put me in, coach." I'm gonna start with the guy right above me with the backwards hat on, with the fashionable glasses on. I don't know if them are Ray Bans. I don't know if those are Oakleys. I don't know what they are. But sir,
They help
sir,
me see that.
in the yellow. Tell them who you are, man, because you clean, boy. You cleaner than Sunday school.
Come on, man. You know I had to show represent here tonight.
Yes, sir.
My name is Gabe Leal. I am a content creator, podcast producer. Uh, writer. I am a AI slop advocate. That's a new one I've added to to,
Well,
to the LinkedIn header there. So live streamer. I mean, I've been doing this now going on 6, 7 years. So it's been something that I am passionate about and just learning so much more now that the advent of AI has come into play. So that's kind of me in a nutshell. And I recently got married 6 months ago. So newlywed, you can add that to the title as
oh
well.
man, congratulations. Uh, those are Gabe bands first and foremost, coming from Thrive Hive. So you got your own identified glasses there. Appreciate you for being here, folks. Spoiler alert: Gabe is actually going to be joining us as well for the Technologist Forum. So the audience and the community that watches that, he is going to be a co-host
Double
on that
dipping.
as well. So that's going to be really dope. In the middle, ladies and gentlemen, step into the stage, Mr. Toucan Golf. Talk to us, brother. Who is this?
This is Kevin Cox. I am an early childhood educator turned media company. I recently stepped away from teaching, and now, after helping my fiance grow her social media to over 130,000 organically, have stepped into helping other small businesses and other businesses kind of show up online and share their stories as well. And Hat is also another kind of branch off into Toucan Golf that I'm getting ready to launch here, which is loosely based in like the duality of players who show up and are all about the rules, all about kind of being everything in the straight and narrow. And then there's the other guys who are there for the community, the vibe, and the good times. And the reality is, probably we all live somewhere near the middle of that existence. So that's kind of what else I've got going on.
Now I understand why I haven't seen you in so long. My goodness.
I, the world has been going crazy.
Bruh, I guess I need to pick up the pace. Tall boy, we need to pick up the pace because Mr. Cox said I done started my company. I took my fiance. It wasn't fiance back. Hold on. Last time I saw you, it was okay. Again, not
It
gonna get
was.
into
It was.
business. Okay. Oh, congratulations on all that. Appreciate you being here. And come on, brother. Tell these people who you are. Lab Tech
I ain't
Show.
nobody.
I,
I ain't
I
got
Somebody.
nothing. I ain't got nothing on Gabe or on Kevin Cox. I'm just a regular guy, just trying to make some big things happen. That's pretty much it. I see Senior in the building. What's up, Senior? Long time no see. Welcome. Happy New Year to you. My name is Tallboy. I do a live show on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, where we simplify technology in a language that you can understand. International traveler, and I just basically make shit happen. Let's just call it what it
That's
is.
what it is. That's what it is. Listen, appreciate y'all. And folks, again, this is the caliber of folks that we bring in. So this is our family. I will make sure that you have links to all of their social media properties as well. I Y'all know how we get down social media. I'm sorry, the social impact of sports. We're not necessarily going to talk about a whole bunch of scores, even though I see, the Knicks and the Nuggets is pretty close right now. We will probably talk about who you got for the Super Bowl this week because me and my co-host, Mr. Williams, Mr. I call him Williams. God, I've been sipping on
And then
some things over
I
here.
gotta say
So,
something, Mr. Hicks, I'm gonna interrupt you real quick. I gotta say something about the terrible, terrible thing that my NBA team did today.
oh, but go
It's
ahead,
been
go ahead. Before we get into some other things, since you got something, you a guest today. You got
I
something
gotta
on your
get off.
mind. I know what you're talking about. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah, so my Mavs, who have been a terrible, terrible disaster
Yeah,
for going on the last 8 months. I mean, we're just calamity after calamity, and they literally just traded the one piece that they got for again a generational guy like Luka, and turned him into a bunch of just dudes and picks. And not even prime picks. We got a couple first rounders that are like years away. So we're just
Hold up. Didn't they get Chris Middleton?
was that?
Huh? Yeah.
Didn't they get Chris Middleton?
Yeah. I mean, but
he's a shooter. What are you complaining about? I would have got rid of that joker. For the ones that don't know, I would have got rid of Anthony Davis. He too injury prone.
You gonna talk about Mr. Glass right there already?
Did
I say that out loud?
I would have sent him to the Wiz, and him and what's his name, Trae Young. They can go be partners and be in the bottom of the barrel together.
I guess, but I mean,
they did you a favor.
They did do us a favor, but the thing is, what we gave up to even put us in this position is what's the worst part of it all. I mean,
who all did they get? Who all did they get? They got Chris Middleton and who else? Because I saw it briefly, but I didn't have time.
Lord have mercy. Hey, folks, first and foremost, you see, your boy we had to run his show. But as soon as someone steps in, just because they're a guest, I give them the keys to the side door, not even the front door.
The one I feel bad for is Klay Thompson. He goes there to be competitive, and they trade everybody away.
Let me see. Okay, folks, I see you all in the comments. So, but y'all pray for me and bear with me. But I'm gonna ride with these. I'm gonna ride with the co-hosts today because they want to talk about it. So we're gonna talk about it. So these are the trades that happened. Yeah, that's all good. These are the trades that happened. So Anthony Davis, as we know, got traded. Who else? No, hold on. Klay Thompson is not.
No, he's still here, but
yeah, he not leaving. So is this recent here? The Magic? No, hold on. What is this? Orlando Magic get Klay Thompson and D'Angelo Russell?
No, Russell got traded to the
Russell
Wizards.
Went to the Wizards.
Yeah, this is a speculation thing. It's a rumor. It's not.
Oh man, he got the wrong link up.
I got Sports Illustrated, SI.com, and we talking about rumors. I talk a lot of trash about ESPN and CNN Sports, but hey, I never talk bad about Sports Illustrated. I may be trying to get a deal with them, so let's not talk bad about them.
Yeah, let's not talk bad about them.
And Davis and Jaden Hardy, D'Angelo Russell, and Dante Exum to the Wizards for Chris Middleton, AJ Johnson, Malachi Branham, and you got Marvin Bagley III. 2 first-round draft picks and 3 second rounders.
Yeah, but most of those guys,
Bagley, and you got Chris Middleton. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, but most of those guys are expiring contracts too at the end of the year, so they're almost like rental players. So even if you got them, I mean, when you gave up Luka, that was the worst part of it all.
Well, that was all because of the casino. That's a whole different conversation.
Let me pause.
Okay,
let's get back on focus, man. Because again,
James is like, this is not the way.
This is not where we supposed to be going. I done sent the rules, just like the old Bill Cosby thing. I put the rules on the refrigerator.
I just interjected. My bad.
When it's time for extracurricular ad libs, we will do that. Mama D's talking about this is funny. No, this is crazy. Is what this is. But you let folks in, it's all good. Okay, Solo, I see you, brother. Appreciate you for being here as well. I saw you just subscribed to. Feel bad for Klay. He should have stayed in Golden State. But it is now really like they got a choice with a lot of these things. These are all business. So these types of things happen. I want to talk about some of the stories here because, again, I want to be cognizant of folks' time. Um, an inside joke between me and Tallboy. Stories that I brought up were kind of gut wrenching, hard topics to talk about, and I really want to get to some meat. And if you're comfortable having a discussion, that's fine. I know the folks on the screen are comfortable having, and even if we go down a particular path, I just again want to hear your thoughts on this. First point is human rights pressure on the 2026 World Cup. The fact that the World Cup is coming to North America, right? The rest of the planet, besides the U.S., is big on soccer. That's the real football. And now that it's coming to North America, there's big issue, focus, concentration from like the ACLU, Amnesty International, and things and organizations like that, wanting to make sure that the human rights are being guaranteed. The folks that are working at the World Cup, your thoughts on the World Cup one coming to the United States and how and does that matter? Is that going to be a good thing for the sport in and of itself to be addressed and be accepted here in the U.S.? Because we just halfway fans for soccer. And do you see that this is an important thing that we make sure that I'm not going to even just say legal folks or documented folks, but we don't start employing children. We don't start employing right. That we employ the right people to go do these jobs, because we want folks to always come up, have these good jobs. But the fact that now we've got human rights pressures that are coming in, safeguarding children from exploitation and ensuring that the host city beautification efforts do not criminalize unhoused populations. That's the headline story. And I just want to get your social thoughts around the World Cup coming to North America and what you think, how you think we should address that to make sure that we show good face, regardless of whatever your political backgrounding is. But again, United States needs to show up for soccer, because if we don't, that's going to be a bigger thing than anything else, just from my perspective. And I'm going to look right up at the top of you, Gabe. You go first, brother, if you don't mind.
Whew, okay. Look, I got to tell you, even if you say keep the political out of it,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it's blueprints, it's hands, it's whatever you want to call them, are all over it. Simply because things that are like happening in this country. I mean, even like here, so we're going to be hosting one of them here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area over at AT&T Stadium.
Bro, you in Dallas? Hold on. I was just in Dallas yesterday. Why did I not know? Okay. God dang it. I was, boy, hey, shouts out to Love Field. Okay. I'm sorry.
But yeah, here in the DFW area, you know, they did a lot to like make sure they cleaned up a lot of the, again, unhoused population. They beautified certain aspects of the city because they knew we had to do the dog and pony show. But then thrown on top of it, the things, and especially in this area, there are a lot of migrant, illegal immigrants who work in this area, who do hold positions and work within the framework of a lot of these, again, entities that handle like all the sanitation, all the stuff that you would use for the city, for, as to say, hey, we know what we're creating, we know what we're handling here, we know what kind of event this is going to do, so we have to magnify all this stuff. But I'm gonna just tell you, with the things like, and I gotta say it, we have it in our drinks all the time, but this ICE word,
come on,
that's here. I mean, it's so crazy at the way that it's affecting a lot of, even the people who are legitimate legal residences working for a lot of these companies. They're quitting. They're not showing up to work. They're not doing these things because they are afraid to say, look, even me, I've spent all my life in this country. I'm born, raised, I got all the paperwork, certified, whatever. I don't know at any one time that my life, my jeopardy, I could end up somewhere else, because it's not about what they're doing. That's why I said you got to go down this path, because there's so many people around here. And I'm going to tell you, the majority of the sports fans who are going to show up to these soccer tournaments, what do you think they are?
That exactly is the reason why some folks may be thinking, why are you having this conversation? But that right there is the reason for this conversation. One, because I'm going to the game this weekend. So I'm going to San Francisco, and we've already talked about kind of the friction that's happening there. That is nothing in my mind, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but Gabe, I think you're talking the same thing. That is nothing compared to when you have the entire planet watching the planet's primary sport here. And if we start acting up and we start tripping with folks because they work here, they don't look like us, or whatever the case may be, that's not going to be one black eye. That's going to be two black eyes and a fat lip. So I appreciate you for saying that. Keep going if you want to, but Mr. Cox, I see you nod, man. I want to get your input on this
I'll
as
let
well.
you go. So I got to bite my tongue a little
I
bit.
think
Don't bite your tongue.
I think my thought on all of it is again, why are we hosting if we don't want to actually be gracious hosts?
Come on.
I'll leave that kind of where that goes. But if we're going to do it for optics, I think that there's a whole lot of other things going on behind the scenes that need to be brought out to the open and talked about.
Wow. At the end of the day, we can acknowledge it's a business while still admitting the business side doesn't erase the human cost. Both can be true at the same time. What you just said really matters and really resonates. Hold on. Go into that just a little bit more. Because you skated around.
Yeah,
you know you can't be safe around here, but we're gonna talk about that.
No, I think again, like there's a lot of things that go on, especially when it comes to money being involved, where people don't do things without really thinking about things that go on in the backside or the repercussions of what actually happens with making the choices that you're doing. Again, I'm not a soccer person by any means, so I don't exactly know when this all played out as to when they were announced that the United States was going to host. I know there's a huge process in the bidding of how countries end up with the hosting ability and all of that. But I don't know if it's a misalignment there as to when it was bid and when it was awarded and when certain political things came to be. But I do know, again, like Gabe was kind of mentioning, like if you want to have the population who supports soccer and plays the sport and is about the sport, supports the sport as fans, but also as the workers who show up to these venues and facilities. I think there's a lot more that needs to be brought out and open and talked about. And again, why are we doing this?
Why are we doing this? Oh boy, I'm gonna let you interject here in just a second, man. I appreciate that. But our Thrive Hive. Hard for me to say. I gotta say that. I gotta say it slow. Gabe, that's from your folks coming in.
Yes.
Human rights conversations don't have to be political to be real. Making sure workers are treated fairly, kids aren't exploited, and unhoused. What was that? And unhoused people aren't pushed out of sight for the sake of optics. That's the word right there.
Mm-hmm.
What was the golden rule? Treat people like you want to be treated, tall boy. What's your thoughts on this? This is I'm just hitting you off the side of the dome with this, and we didn't prepare you for these particular topics. But your thoughts just after reading the headline.
Unfortunately, America is a capitalistic country. We're all about the coin, and it's glitzy, it's glamorous, it's bigger than the Super Bowl, so we got to have it. But we have some hidden racisms. We have some hidden things about us that on the outside looking in, if you don't do right by people, you should not be rewarded this opportunity, right? But, you know, the Andrew Youngs, who was the former mayor here in Atlanta, civil rights leader, he was very big on Atlanta being a hub for economic development. We're all about that coin here in Atlanta, the ones that are about business, if that makes sense. And Atlanta is one of those host cities. We also have a soccer team here that has won a national championship here. So we're all about transparency. We're all about saying, hey, everybody is welcome here. So they have just now said that ICE has now moved into the Atlanta area. So we have not seen anything to where, you know, they've been very discreet as far as their tactics or whatever. But now you're starting to talk about, will people feel safe coming out but we're all about making money. So we
Right.
don't, as long as you got the coin, we good. But now you're saying, will somebody be afraid to attend an event? Will somebody be, they're talking about the jails here, the Fulton County jail here. It's not up to par. It's not up to snuff. And knowing that the World Cup is coming in 4 or 5 months, are we even ready for something like this? Because people, unfortunately, are going to get arrested. And are they even ready for the inhumane conditions that are set up? And then now you're talking about workers, you're talking
Never
about
thought about
sex
that.
trafficking, you're talking about all the other, nuances that come with a big event such as the Super Bowl, NBA All-Star Weekend. I don't think baseball or hockey has it, but I'm pretty sure they have their nuances. But they sweep the homeless up underneath the rug and say we're going to push you further out, as opposed to having you here. We bring in, we want it to look pretty. We want the beautification of the neighborhoods to
Hmm.
look good in the areas that they're going to be at, if that makes sense. We want the reward, but are we really ready to take care of the people? And I don't think that America, they have shown time and time again, America is a ugly country. We're a beautiful country, but we're also an ugly country. And I don't think we as Americans, I don't think that this should have been a reward that we should have gotten. I think they should have probably went to somewhere else. That's just my humble thoughts.
No, and that's a fair statement. I appreciate you guys for being transparent in this as well. And I know personally, and again, I'm not going to put everybody's business out here on the street, but to hear it coming from you, like Tall Boy, because you, as well as me, have a lot of stamps in your passport. So you have been to other locations and seen the hospitality and seen. Again, listen, we love this country. My dad is on the line here. He fought for this country for 27 years of his life. So we gonna salute and we gonna raise the flag and we do all those things. But come on, now we've got conversations again. Here I'm going down to Santa Clara in 2 days, and at Moffett Field, the ex Air Force base, they already got it pre-staged. They've got the area ready to actually act a fool. We know who's performing at halftime. I'm going to probably try to run on the field when Bad Bunny is performing, and if I get arrested, y'all just laugh at me. But that's going to be dope, right? That we got Bad Bunny performing, and we should be celebrating that. The events that happen this week are only going to be a precursor to when the World Cup comes and when everyone on the planet is watching. Everyone on the planet does not care about the Seahawks or the Patriots. Many people aren't going to be watching. They're going to hear about it in the news. It's going to be second, third hand. But my gosh, when they start blowing them vuvuzelas and they start yelling out, y'all didn't know. See, y'all didn't think I knew about my soccer lingo, right, guys? So I'm concerned about that, and I just want us all to be better. And
Yeah.
don't know how it's going. Thrive Harvest again says sports has always had the power to raise the bar from a social perspective. This feels like one of those moments where how we handle it matters just as much as the matches themselves. That's what
I don't think it's necessarily the people in the respective cities. Dallas, Miami, Kansas City, Philly. I think New Jersey is one of the cities. Washington, Seattle, I think is one of the cities. Atlanta. I don't think we're going to be the issue. I think it's really more the federal government, how they choose to handle it. Because I think the respective cities, they're all about the economic development. They want to see it happen. They want to see. We already have people in Atlanta that are already saying that we're World Cup ready. We're setting up businesses. We're setting up opportunities. There's no one left behind. If you're serious and you got your business license and you want to do business with the World Cup, I mean, I think the locals are like, hey, let's make this happen. If we have to set up the infrastructure to bring James in or bring Gabe or Kevin in as a contractor, I think the local residents, I think they're all for it. I think it's really about how the federal government and the powers that be are they going to stay in their lane, if that makes sense, and be respectful of what the states have already or their respective cities have already set up to do.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, folks. I see you watching from all the different locations as well. Don't be afraid to put a comment in. I can bring the comments in and we can have this dialogue. John, I see you upset about the ads, sir. I've made a decision. I apologize. We will be continuing to monetize these live streams, and You probably gonna call me after this show and you're gonna yell at me, but I'll take that. But
Hey, you did say we were about that coin, though, right?
we about that coin, brother. Listen, especially at
YouTube
this
Premium
level
is
of
an option.
conversation, you're not gonna get this from Stephen A. He too scared. He can't even say his fraternity name correctly. So you're not gonna get this level of conversation from some of those other locations. So y'all pray for us and y'all bear with us. And yes, Rich, I am saying Vuvuzela. I do know these things. I do know. So
He does.
any more thoughts on this particular topic before we move on? But again, this
Well,
is
just
something
one
that I think we need to continue to talk about.
Just one more thing,
I
too.
think.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Dave.
I was just gonna say that the tourism side, right? That's the part that gets affected more than anything. Like you said, these cities. We do want this. We do need the economic development. We do need the influx of cash from the tourisms, from the hotels, from all the stuff that comes in. But again, kind of like what Tom Boy is saying, if the federal government doesn't act right, there's going to be a lot of people like, you know what? I don't know if I want a chance to go to spend that money for what. I mean, you got to if they play nice, they do the thing. They say, you know, we're gonna call off the dogs for a while this time being. Great. Hopefully everything goes off without a hitch. But even just having the possibility of it being there is enough to scare away people and the money and the dollars that come with that. So that's it. That's all I need to say.
I was going to second that, but I think also the other part is to add is that at what point do we have to hold the World Cup a little bit accountable too, of continuing to move forward, knowing that that is a possibility that maybe people don't come and support or don't come and spend the money because of the risk of what's going to possibly go on or not go on, as the case may be. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how it all plays out. But again, I think they've got it's a little bit their responsibility as well. It's not just the host country, because it is also in Canada and also in Mexico as well.
Yeah. We should be the shining example, and we should see. I will say this, and I'll interject, and then we'll move on to the next one. One of the pros and cons or caveats of not just streaming in horizontal, but also streaming in vertical and just showing up on folks' shorts feed is you get a lot of other folks jumping on. I don't know if y'all saw, I had to ban someone that was just making some comments in the feed right now. But but brother, we appreciate you for joining in, but I don't want you to go too far off the rails here on this show. And we've got.
I would have let him stay. That don't bother me. Let them stay. It's not like we seeing like we posting the comments. Let them stay.
No,
I appreciate the follow.
I don't want that.
I appreciate the watch time.
There you go.
I appreciate the watch time. It's all about the watch time. It's all about Mama D said, yes, we pray everything will be fine. Let's do this. Let's move on. So again, kind of still in that same vein, sports and social and making sure that things are all right, making sure people are all right. My question now is about this, and we talked about this last week, Montel and myself, talking about sports gambling. This is everything is now related to. I watch CNBC on this TV all day, every day. So I'm looking at my stocks. I'm looking at the market. There is a segment about gambling. I watch CNN. There is a segment about gambling. ESPN has their own shows. They have their own apps. Each network seems to be talking on regular news at night as well. They're talking about the influx and the proliferation of sports gambling and sports betting. Your guys' thought on that? Have we gone too far in that? Is this unhealthy? Your thoughts on, again, every aspect of, again, let's think about the game that's coming up this weekend. We're going to bet. I almost said I'm going to bet. Lord have mercy. There will be bets on what planes fly over during the flyover. Does somebody stumble during the national anthem? First point. Is it a field goal? Is it what? Right. All these different aspects. There's going to be a gambling aspect to it. And it's not just bingo cards and you start taking shots. It's actually the DraftKings and all these other things. Your thoughts on this whole proliferation of sports betting? Mr. Cox, let's start with you, man.
I think it goes back to what Tallboy said. It's all about capitalistic tendencies and making money. And if somebody's going to make money off of it, guess what they're going to do? I think a lot of the sports organizations and associations, even all the way down to the collegiate level are running into it nonstop of how do we deal with it? So you invited it in because you like the money. Now you've got to deal with the consequences of it. And that's one of the things I'm not exactly sure how that all plays out, or I don't pretend to have all the answers. But again, if you would want the money, you're going to have to kind of deal with the consequences of that, or at least be prepared to deal with that. And I don't think it seems like a lot of those organizations really did that. They like the money part of it without thinking about what comes along with it when you pull that chain.
Wow. Okay. Interesting thought there. Tallboy, what about you?
Considering my situation of me being in college and getting caught up in that gambling situation when I was in college and doing the right thing. For the ones that don't know, someone approached me about throwing some games back when I was in college. I thought it was a joke, but it got to the point to where the authorities got involved. At that time, it was a taboo thing. It was one of those things that was never talked about, but you got to do the right thing, if that makes sense. To now see where gambling has now fast forwarded to where it's widely accepted, not only collegiately, but also professionally. And then now you're asking the players to not get involved with the gambling. America has always betted on everything. I bet you can't do this. I bet you I'm faster than you. I bet you can't eat this or eat that. We've always been a betting country. So we're going to find a way to bet something, whether it's just for bragging points, for a couple of dollars, or maybe even for a big payout. People have died over gambling, not having somebody's money. You better have my money. You lost. Run me my coin, right? That's always been the true. That has been the American way. So to Kevin's point of this is what America has always done. It's like we've always betted. So now you didn't do your due diligence. It's no different from us going down this AI world. And it's like, hey, you really need to do your research on AI. So to ring it back in, are they doing too much? No, this is just what they've always done. It's just now legal to do it. Before it's like, hey, what you got on the game? I bet you don't have somebody's money in jail and you made a bet. What's going to happen? Don't have somebody's money. We're going to bet on the high school game. We're going to bet on the college game. We're going to bet on the professional game. So now you're saying, hey, is somebody going to, crack their voice? I mean, they just found new creative ways to make some more money. And what they say, a lot of people in the NFL say the parlay got messed up, and the NFL is all in on it because there's no way that the Chicago Bears should have won or lost that game. There's no way that NFL team B, C, or D should have done this. How did the player from the Cowboys get hurt and everybody lost their money? You see what I'm saying? So this has always been something. It's just now that it's public, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's almost like we're validating this statement right here. And Gabe, I want you to not only answer the question, but take a look at this. So what we're looking at is a total normalization of a known addictive product. Does it get any more normalized when a 9-year-old child visits Fenway Park and sees MGM and DraftKings on the Green Monster? The fact that, again, this is what kind of what Tallboy and what Kevin were saying, this is who we are, this is what we do. It's normal now. But so I'm going to put this on you too, Gabe. The original question, have we got too much? Have we gone too far? Is it dangerous for us to be this far with this particular activity? I mean, going to the casino, going to Vegas, going to the Indian casinos, things like that, right? Boom, I'll drop $50, $100, boom, go have the buffet, and then I'm out. But now I could be at the house in the backyard. I can be sitting on the toilet. Oh, Lord, I don't want to give too much information. But we could be doing the thing, gambling. Okay, talk about it, man.
So you hit on what I was about to say, is that you took the entertainment part out of it. You're taking the enjoyment out of
Talk about that.
something that should be enjoyed, whether you like the team or not, whether it should be about the experience, right? I mean, to me, that's the whole reason. Look, I'm going to just tell you that my dad was a gambler all his life. He didn't do anything else. He didn't smoke. He didn't drink. He didn't cuss. His one vice was gambling. I mean, so much so, he had 6 kids. You know where we would go to our summer vacations? Las Vegas. Okay. That was his fun. That was his Disneyland. So I've seen it around all my life. I've seen even on golf courses and playing with friends and doing stuff like that. It was always there, like, kind of what Tom always saying. But what always made it was the experience. Where now, when you're just gambling to gamble, I mean, it is an extreme. It is. It's almost like the legalization of marijuana. It was always there. But now you've taken it off the streets and now you've put it behind a corporate backing. That's what you've done. This is essentially what you've done. And the same players who were doing it then, they're still getting their hands in it. They're still finding ways to make money off of it. That's not going to go away. But I think it was always about the experience of doing it and having, joy instead of just betting on every year at the Super Bowl, even going back before things like DraftKings and stuff, they would always put out who was going to score first, you always had the over. You always had these things that people were going to bet offline. It was always there. They always set the odds. Vegas always had the odds. You could go down. You could always do this. It's just intensified and it's magnified to the point where now it is just everywhere. And the part of me that I think ruins it is the fact that there was always a little bit of fun in having placing a nice wager. And now it's become where it's just like, well, I just hit a button on my phone and I've made a wager.
It's too easy.
And I've lost.
Yeah, it's too easy.
It's too easy. And then
I'm not saying it's necessarily bad, because I'm a technologist like the rest of you as well. So I love the fact that technology has evolved. I'm just saying again that, and Tallboy, I'll let you interject and I'll get to some of these comments. Again, I'm not saying that it's bad, but I'm saying, have we gone too far and made it too accessible to too many people? I'm worried about the kids. Shouts out to the kids, right? Again, the folks who can't or don't know their own boundary. I'm gonna spend my lunch money. I'm gonna spend my rent money. I'm gonna use this car note and go bet on this game because I got this feeling that it's gonna happen. I just want to make sure that we helping these folks. And I'm not a big oversight person either. So let me put that out there. Not necessarily having a whole bunch of regulation around it, but being so easily accessible to do this thing and quickly give your money. You bet $50, we're going to give you $100 if you lose. Right? I think that's one of the promos that, the DraftKings and things like that will do for you. I don't know. I haven't done it. I'm just saying. Tallboy, go ahead, brother.
I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but
talk about it. I'm gonna put you full screen while you talk that madness too, boy. Say your thing.
We all like sex, right?
Uh-oh.
Yep. I was thinking the same thing.
Hey, man.
We all like sex, right?
Hey,
so it's sex is healthy, and it's as long as you're responsible with it. But when you're 12, 13, 14 years old, you don't have the capacity, but you're putting it in music, you're putting it on TV, you're putting it in the movies. And so what do you think a person is going to see? And as long as you're responsible, now there's some irresponsible people who have multiple kids out of wedlock that aren't doing it the right way, may have gotten an STD, that may have done something that they weren't supposed to be doing. Now they have to live with those consequences, right? That's no different from gambling. You got the money. You're willing to place your wager. You're willing to make your bet, and you made a bad decision, and now you're in the hole, and you can't get out of it. So
make it plain, Pastor. Make it plain. Yeah,
I ain't no pastor. I told you. I just make it happen. That's what I told you.
I'm
just telling it like a TI is, right? Like this is just what so we welcome sex, but then it's like, oh, you can't have sex with are they over 18? We talked about R. Kelly, right? Rich Vibes is in here. You know how he is, right?
I know how he is.
But and it's not to say that it's right or not to say that it's wrong. It's just, but hey, people been doing. We've heard about the freak offs, right? So, but
Mhm.
at the same token, we talk about it, but then it's still such a taboo thing. Gambling, we talk about it, but it's still a taboo thing. And like I said, back in my day, it was a taboo thing. We never talked about it. Our coaches never said, this is what you should not do. What if you get caught in that situation and there's a lot of money thrown at you? Now it's the character of a man, the character of a woman. Because now somebody's saying, if you a college kid and don't have no money and they throwing you $1,000 for every missed free throw, they throwing you $10,000 for a loss of every game. Is that not what a lot of these college students are going through right now? You giving me an opportunity. Who's betting on a Cal State Fullerton game? Who's betting on that? You laughing, Gabe, but that was my exact
Wow.
thought when that was presented to me. And when it was presented to me, I had a split decision to say yay or nay. And I thought it was a joke, just like you just laughed, right?
Yeah.
And I told the coach, and the next thing I know, I'm in the room and there's local police, school police, and the FBI sitting in the room talking about who's the guy, and they got cameras all up in the arena. And now this has become a real thing. And now instead of me doing the wrong thing, and they would have plastered me all over ESPN, all over Fox Sports, all over the LA Times, I'm doing the right thing. So just like you laughed, that's the same way I did, right? But I'm just keeping it very transparent. And so
That's
we joke about it, but then look, I transferred to a new school, and here it is 20 years later, 15 years later, something along those lines. And one of the kids at the university that I transferred to, he gets caught up in a gambling situation. And all he said was, I got to take care of my kid. So when somebody's thrown some money at you, now it's the measure of the man. But the coaches never had those conversations with you. The university never had those conversations with you. Your parents didn't have no money to give you. So what do you do when you need money? We talk about NIL, but the NIL money we only talk about the top 2 to 3% that's in college when it talks about NIL. We ain't talking about the scrub over at Kennesaw State that ain't making no money. We only talking about the Eli, or what was his name? The Manning kid out of Texas. We're only talking about the Shedeur Sanders. We're only talking about we only talk about them, but we're not talking about that volleyball player. We're not talking about that lacrosse player. We're not talking about that swimmer. And they want to make money too. And so if I can make a bet on who's going to trip, who's going to cross the finish line, who's going to eat the peanut butter and jelly sandwich the fastest, what do you think is going to happen? And that's just a real conversation. And it's always been like that. And like I said, whether you're in jail, they bet, not saying that I've been, whether you have done something in high school or in your primary school, whether you've done something at your job, or whether you've just done something with your colleagues. Like Mama D said, I got my squares. It's all in innocent fun. So just keeping it above. So like I said, it's just this is America. America has always talked about gambling. It's just been a taboo thing. Now you're saying it's legalized. And so now we're saying, is it normal? It's always been normal. We just kind of didn't talk about it. No, just like we didn't talk about sex.
We need to talk about all them conversations. Let me, Gabe, before you go into it, I want to put up a couple of these comments because some of them are directed towards you specifically and you being questioned. But Solo was saying, as I just put it up, it's the next addiction and it's legal, so it's easy, especially with all the various apps. Dan Roth, we do appreciate you for being here, but he is talking out the side of his neck to you, Gabe. You need to deal with him. Do not let this man.
I'll handle my light work when I get off.
Do not let this TEDx
you got
speaker.
to bet Dan about him throwing pans. Like, is she going to actually tag you with one?
Yeah, that's.
This is how crazy it could get, though. You could it doesn't have to involve sports. I could have created this on Kalshi before we went live and started saying, "Hey, I wonder if Dan's going to put a comment about Gabe saying something crazy."
He always will come to throw a wrench in the whole thing here. But appreciate you for being here, brother. OG Mike says he hates most sports, but he do like money. Say nothing to that. Hey, and
I
that's
don't
right
think
there, keeping it
nobody.
real
I
right
think
there.
everybody like money. Run that coin.
I want to catch up on these comments, and then Kevin and Gabe, if you want to continue on. But I think I actually want to deviate from the runner show and go into this NIL conversation that you started
Oh,
going into. And again, we're not going to put people's business out in the street, but it's almost related. It's almost related. It's dangerous. Recent studies have shown young men are affected more than any demographics, which affects social economic trends, drinking down, gambling up.
that's true. Women like to shop. Men like to drink and gamble.
Put an age limit on it. Would that stop it?
Nope.
No, you didn't stop porn, so
Exactly.
Good point.
That's not going to stop it. There's always a work.
All you're doing is stopping it legally, but that still does not put the Band-Aid on it. It's like sex trafficking exists, right? What do you call it? The sex clubs exist. They have 2 or 3 of the sex clubs here in Atlanta. It's a taboo thing. They haven't shut it down, but guess what? They still making money, and they've been in business for how long? Strip clubs are still here. Strip clubs ain't going nowhere. So all you did was put an age limit on it. 18,
You're talking about
21.
You're talking about 2 of the oldest professions in the in our
Yeah.
existence.
Yeah.
Kevin, I was going to ask you about the kids because you were in education, but again, that's a past tense now that you said you no longer. Well, because we just brought it up. I'm not. Hold on.
No,
Let
absolutely.
me lock in here. But because we were talking about should we put an age limit on it, but again, you've had a lot of that exposure of educating kids and things like that nature. And see, I got to put context around what I'm saying because I don't want anybody clipping up what I'm saying. Your thoughts on that whole piece? How do we keep our youth safe from?
I mean,
taking
I
that lunch
understand
money?
where you're coming with that, but at the same time, I think it goes back to like the role modeling thing. Kids are very impressionable. What you show them, they will repeat, no matter whether it's good, bad, or indifferent.
Yeah.
So if you can show them not necessarily the right way, but some positive ways to do things, they're going to do that. If you show them some not so great things or great habits, guess what they're going to do? I think that's where, again, whose responsibility is it to make sure that people are making good choices? Ultimately, I think that comes back to the individual. And I do understand the socioeconomic piece that goes with that and some advantages or disadvantages that certain people have because of their socioeconomic status. But again, I think that comes back to the individual to be responsible for their choices and their actions when it comes to most everything in life.
Claudia's in here saying gambling has never been normal, but it
She
is
must have
now.
not watched old
Speaking of
westerns
that
where they were.
previous comment you had, when desperation meets temptation, that's where the real harm starts. Look, I was leaving Utah, headed back to Las Vegas as a sophomore in college. And they were taking me back to the Las Vegas airport from my visit that I was taking. And somebody was driving down the freeway the opposite way on the freeway. We happened to not be in the HOV lane. We happened to be in the lane right next to it. And all you saw was a car just speeding a high rate of speed. And there was the Las Vegas police officers chasing the car to catch up to him because that was an accident waiting to happen. And I was like, whoa, what are they thinking? Like, are they on drugs or something? And the person told me, they said, no, they just lost a lot of money.
Oh, wow.
And they're about to end it all. And that could have been me if we were I probably wouldn't be on this call had the driver been in that HOV lane, because that person, when desperation meets temptation, that's where the real harm starts. So you not only putting yourself, but you're putting others in harm.
The relevant conversation. I'm hoping folks. So shouts out to the folks that are just joining in who have probably never watch Team No Sleep and wondering again, these are different types of conversations than you'll typically see on a nightcap or a pivot and things like that. We're going much deeper into some relevant conversations. Not no shade to any of those platforms and podcasts, Fourth and One and all that, but this is kind of the unsexy stuff that needs to be talked about, that's swept under the rug, and it kind of matters. I think it matters. My co-hosts think it matters. So we want to elevate and have these types of conversations based on the comments. It matters to you as well. So that's why we're having these conversations here. Mama D saying social media has a big part in our students and in our children. Thrive Hive was saying, Kevin, spot on. It starts with the parents and the caregivers, then the educators, then the rest of us. So it takes takes a village?
It takes a village, yeah.
Takes a village. I guess I just want to say we just need to make sure we take care of ourselves, because this is a relevant issue right now. And again, with this big game coming up, I can just only. My dad was here for, I think it was the NFC Championship game, and we were watching, and we were talking about the number of people that were in the stadium. I said, you know what? I did some research. 67,000 people in the stadium. The low average ticket price was $808 each person, just to get in the door. You do the math, multiply, carry the 2, divide by 3, and you come up with some millions of dollars. That's just to get in and watch the game. Then you want to eat something. You want a hot dog. Then you want to get a shirt. Then you may want to park if you drove. All of the money that comes in just from attending an NFC Championship, let alone the Super Bowl is coming up and all the stuff that's happening around it. Folks aren't liking what we're saying because I'm seeing some dislikes coming in off of YouTube, but that's all right again, because we having that conversation. It's the concern to make sure that we're doing right and good by our youth especially, and that we're doing right and good by the folks that are most vulnerable. This conversation needs to happen. So it's only fuel to the fire that we continue to have this conversation, even with the negative naysayers out there. Claudia says addiction is a choice. Oh my goodness. We may want to get her on, Claudia, on the show here. I may find a way to send you a link so you can come. Anybody got anything else that they want to interject about that particular topic? So let's go into this whole pay to play, pay to participate, pay to attend. This influx of NIL. We've talked about this a lot as well on this show. We worry about the 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds getting paid $20,000 to go to the local Kroger and bag groceries for 2 hours. Shouts out to Kroger. We worry about, the star athlete, star running back that goes to the local BMW shop for an hour and a half and just meets and greets folks coming in and then gets to drive away. I was going to say walk away, but after that shift, leave with a brand new vehicle. When you're coming up from nothing or coming up from very little to now being, a star athlete, now being a professional, because with NIL, you are a professional athlete now. Have we done too much in terms of the access to funds when the athlete, in most times, is getting paid more than a coach? I just had lunch with Mike Bibby, who used to play for the Kings, who is now the head coach for Sac State basketball team. And he says one of the things, I'm not putting his business out, but he already said this. He said it to me while we were talking. He's concerned with a lot of his athletes that are making a lot of money to be athletes, less students. At other schools, maybe even at his school as well, some of the athletes are making more than the coaches. And how is a coach to talk to some of these young cats if there's that disparity right there from a money perspective? And if I don't like the program, if I don't like the coach, if we're not winning next year, I'm in the transfer portal. It's just a whole different conversation right now. And I'm wondering your guys' thoughts. Anyone can go first. Tallboy, maybe if you want to go first, I've gone down the line about this whole college athletes are now professional athletes as opposed to just student athletes now that they got access to NIL.
Kevin, Gabe, y'all want to go before I say something?
I'll say this one thing about it. So just to mention what you said about the coaches and players actually making more money than coaches. Um, Look, this is the reality of what it is now. That Pandora's box is open. And I'm sorry, once you've already reached it, they're not going to be able to shove it back in. So for most of these coaches, what's going to have to shift and change is they're going to have to change their approach. Their mindsets are going to have to shift too. They're going to have to almost be like NFL coaches or just professionals in general, because there are, again, you're playing with high dollar athletes who most of them make more money than the coaching. And yet it's still done on a professional level. You're just going to have to take that kind of same approach to it, because the rules have changed. And as much as there needs to be oversight or regulation on some of these things, it's going to be very, very difficult to have pushback now. I mean, once you let things out like that into the open space like that, and they get a taste of it, you know how hard they're going to fight to say, I'm never going back to the other way, because they're going to see it the same way, right? They're going to be like, the college programs are making money off of us. I need to get something from it. I end my career, I walk out with a degree. Great. And a broken leg or whatever I can't use anymore. Or not that I can't use anymore, but it's going to hinder the rest of my life. So yeah, there are things that you have to take into consideration. But for as far as it comes to sports and the money and that's coming from these programs and what's being generated, I mean, I'm sorry. Guess what? Just like they would tell the athletes back in the day, you're going to have to toughen up and change and shift your mindset if you want to win at this thing. You're going to have to do the same thing now. That's just how life is going to be. I'm done.
No, you don't. Okay, appreciate that, and you don't necessarily have to be done. I got slightly distracted, and I know you guys see it too on the back channel here as well. Reason we're having this conversation is because of this, and it's resonating. Reach one, teach one, that kind of thing. These conversations are needed. Lost an uncle just last night due to a self-inflicted gunshot wound. You never know who was listening and how you can change their life or even save it. So the 4 dislikes that we got because we're getting deep in the woods about some conversations. I'm sorry.
You the one that kicked the person out the room.
I brought him back. No, you know what?
I told you to let the person stay. Well, I appreciate the watch time. Thank you so much. You can type in all the
I unbanned them. So they back unless they left.
Still watching.
Oh my God.
You can say what you want to say. Welcome.
You can say what you want to say. I'm gonna edit it out anyway. I'm pretty good at Final Cut.
Yeah, you real good. That was nice.
I'm real good. Now that I got the new subscription too. Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on, Kevin. Did you want to go? Because I think Top Boy, you wanted to circle the wagon on this one. Your thoughts, Mr. Cox?
I think with this one, it kind of goes back again to the role model thing of how are we showing people how to be good human beings. I don't think I have a whole lot more to add to that other than, again, people grow up a certain way and have certain socioeconomic things, and I understand that plays a role, but at the same time, how can we better role model to people who don't have that at home? Where else can we get that to them? Or how else can we get that to them? And that's the part that I think makes a big difference. I think in the earlier that we can have the solid role models that show people how to be good human beings, I think that makes a huge difference in how they grow up as adults. I think, again, money is a huge factor, and it can be used for positive, but it also turns out a lot of negativity as well. I think both the way that lost my thought here. I think, again, that the biggest thing is making sure that it's, again, whether you're getting NIL money or not, why are you going to a school? Why are you choosing a coach? Why are you choosing a situation? And I think you need to make sure that you're respecting the people that are supposedly authorities or coaches at that school, so that you're getting something bigger beyond just being an athlete. Because at the end of the day, your athletic career only lasts so long. At the end of the day, you're still a human being when that being an athlete is done and over with.
It's a hard conversation, isn't it? It's a hard conversation. Yeah. Talk about what you got, man. What you got?
Did any of you guys play college sports? Anybody?
I did not.
Gabe, James, y'all play college sports?
I played just before college, but not college. No.
You played golf, Gabe?
I played junior junior college baseball.
Oh, I thought you were about to say I played JV high school.
You got a letter. You got the Al Bundy. He got a letter.
I played baseball, but nothing on them.
Let's unpack this for a second. And James, you may have to rephrase this question because I'm gonna go down this rabbit hole.
Go.
NIL. Let's just call it what it is, right? For years, and he gonna put me on the big screen like this too. For years, athletes from the Chris Webbers, I think that was when we first started hearing rumblings of players not getting paid, but the universities are making money off of them. You're a workhorse or you're a horse, and when you get hurt or you get injured, they always say education first, sports second. That's what they always say if you're an athlete. You saw what I did. Now they say it, but that's not how it really works.
Mm-hmm.
So now the table has now turned, and these kids are like, no, F you, pay me, right? Because you want my talent. It was never about getting a degree. That's just the nice sugar coating of, I want to make it to the NBA. I want to make it to the NFL. But you look at any other collegiate sport, they're the only sports that make you do 2 or 3 years before you can actually go. And I think they now said, 1 year removed from college now for basketball, but I think it's 3 years removed from NFL. But if you do baseball, you do soccer, you do any other sport, you don't have that when it comes to collegiate. So the kids, they never wanted to go to college anyway. That was just their path to get to the money. You can't go straight out of high school to go to the NFL. You can't go straight out of high school to go to the NBA. You do 1 year overseas or you do 1 year in college. Pick your poison. Which one? That's just the rules of the game. And unfortunately, you have the gatekeepers that tell you what it is that you have to do. And basically, they give you their whole, what to kiss.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a star player, that's a great situation. Because you don't really have to show up to school. Look at what's the guy's name that went to LSU that couldn't shoot? I can't think of it. Ben something. Can't think of his name.
Simmons.
Yeah, Ben Simmons. He was there for 1 year, not even the whole year. Played the sport. Then he was academically ineligible. He didn't care. He was gone. He was out. He was never there to play sports. To get an education. Now, that's good for the family, and it's good to have something on your wall to say, I got a degree. But the ones that we're talking about, they don't care about that kind of stuff. And it's sad, but once, like Kevin Cox said, the social economic part of sports. So now I have a friend, ex-girlfriend. Her son went to a Power 5 football school. She was so proud of him going to this school. And then all of a sudden this year, he transferred to another school. And it was like, it's not what we were promised. It's not what we were told. It's not this. It's not that. But he got a nice pickup truck and got a nice view of a nice apartment. And and she just told me she quit her job because now she is I need to take care of my baby. They paying the mama. Back then, you couldn't do all of that. Now that's just from the athlete's perspective. Is it right? Is it wrong? Collegiate sports have been getting over for years. And so now the tables have now turned. The coaches don't like it. And that's why you see the Nick Sabans getting out of it. That's why you see the Deion Sanders saying, hey, I'm still going to be the daddy. I'm still going to be the uncle. And I'm going to do right by you. I'm going to get you this college degree, or not the college degree, but I'm going to make you a better man. Because at the end of the day, you just want to become a better man or a better woman while you're up underneath these coaches. That's really what it all boils down to, because you're coming in there with no direction, and you're also coming in there just as raw talent. And their goal is to shape you, form you, and turn you into a young adult and make you a man or a woman. To get the degree, that's the icing on the cake. That's the cherry on the top. Let's just call it what it is. Now, on the flip side, everybody ain't getting that kind of money. We only talking about the top 2 to 3%. We not talking about the regular names. So those kids still got to get it. Now, there's some colleges, they have that kind of money where they say the whole offensive line, even the scrubs, they even get a pickup truck, or hey, they even get something, right? Just calling a spade a spade. So you're not going to have too much problem out of it. It's those star players that, hey, as long as you stay out of trouble. Look at the one kid that plays for the Charlotte Hornets that went to Alabama that played basketball, got caught up with a gun situation. Was it what was it? They were, he wasn't even, I don't know if his drafts dropped, but he wasn't there. He was just only there to go to the NBA. And the police literally turned the other way. He took the book bag to the person who had the gun and killed the person, or whatever.
Yeah.
But they literally looked the other way because they knew he was going to the NBA, and he's doing very well in the NBA right now. So let's just call a spade a spade. So I mean, yes, the NIL sounds good. Yes, the NIL is what it is, but it's finally giving the athlete the opportunity to be able to make a living for themselves because you're profiting off of them. You're using their name, you're using their image, you're using their likeness to make money off of you to sell tickets. And that's the whole goal, right? So I'm bringing James's son to play whatever respective sport, and if he's the star player, they're gonna put him on all the billboards, and the school is making money to sell those tickets because we want to see him play, but he ain't making no money. He's trying to hurry up and do whatever he got to do so he can get to the next level to where he can make some money. And I think a lot of people just don't look at it from that point of view.
I think I hear you. Our Thrive Hive actually says it more eloquently than I could ever say it. When the income outpaces the maturity, guidance matters more than ever. I agree that athletes should be paid at the college level. I do. I don't know because I'm not in some of
I
these.
think it should be capped. I think it should be capped.
Okay, so there we go. That's kind of where I was going. I agree they should be paid. I think that there should be programs in place, and I started to say I'm not in any of these rooms, so I don't know if they are programs of how to balance a checkbook, how to manage your money, understanding about investments, not just going out as soon as you get that $20,000 from bagging those groceries at Kroger, going and buying yourself a new suit, buying some new rims. Kids still buy rims for it's not the spinning rims anymore. Is that what they buying now? I don't know. I'm just dating myself, but
James, not trying to be funny. What did I just say earlier? Put me back on the screen again.
You on the screen?
No, the whole screen. Because I want everybody to.
He want the whole screen.
I'm not trying to be funny. What did I say earlier? And remember when I say this. This is how the coaches think. Education first, sports second. You can take me off the screen. That's literally what they mean. And you're going to work for them because they gave you this degree or they gave you this opportunity to play at this college. And it doesn't matter whether it's the small, the mid-major, or the D2, the D1, the NAIA, Power 5, they don't care. Mm-hmm. Education first, sports second.
How long
every now and then you will find a coach that does care, but if that coach does not win, what happens to that coach? He out of there.
Oh.
So if that coach does not win, what's really going to happen? It's no different if you work in radio. It's no different if you work in politics. If you're not giving out the numbers and you're not providing results, you out of there. So if I'm banking and putting my money on James's son to provide I'm coming into Mr. Hicks's house and saying, I would love for your son to come play at my university because I think he has the talent. I'm putting my career on the line for your son. And I need you to come in here and I'm going to get you the education and I'm going to turn him into a real man, and I'm going to set him up to be right, blah, 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 blah. I got to say all the nice stuff to the Hicks family or the whoever family in their house. I got to say it like a TI is to make them feel comfortable. But once that child signs on the dotted line, his ass is mine, because you better perform. Because if you don't, my job is on the line. And that's where you hear the coaches or hear the kids say, the coach is tripping. They got me all the way out here, and now the coach is doing this, and they got me doing that, and they got me. And it's like, hey, are you playing the game? Are you, maybe it's just not your timing yet. Maybe you said something the wrong way. Maybe, they blackballed you. Maybe you did something to where you, rubbed a certain coach a certain way, and now they're giving you a hard time. So now it's like, hey, now I'm getting an opportunity to make some money because I may not be as affluent as a Mr. Hicks. I may come from a worser, household that did not have that kind of money. So if I didn't have that, I'm going to try and get a leg up. No different from the kid that was at the University of New Orleans. There's a whole list of colleges and kids that are caught up in a gambling situation because their financial situation put them in a situation to where they did not have the wherewithal to walk away and say, no, that's not for me. Wow. That's just what it is. Say what you want to say, but that's just what it is.
Claudia, the reason why we so calm is just like you said there, right? The fact that we got some things that we want y'all to hear. We trying to tell y'all something that we want y'all to know about. So appreciate you for being here with that comment. Appreciate you guys for talking about that. I mean, that's just truth, right? Education, sports, kind of. And I can go down again that rabbit hole of saying, why and how did we get here? But at the end of the day, it kind of boils down to the finance piece. It boils down to the money, and boils down to the school needs to make money. The coach need to make money. So obviously, the athlete that's actually showing out and putting their body at risk needs to make some cash as well. Kevin, I think you wanted to interject, and then I've got one more thought before we close off.
How long until we turn college sports into a minor league system with no education tied to it at all? Where the big schools we're already here with what's going on with UCLA and USC and Washington and Oregon being in the Big Ten, like geographically, like that makes absolutely zero sense that we're going to go play these lesser sports on a Wednesday night in the middle of January. Let's go play, women's basketball, or let's do wrestling, or some of these ones that, again, are non-money making sports. We're there for student athletes to supposedly be, like Tallboy's saying, athletes second, students first. It just seems to me we're one step away, with the NIL being where it is, to turning the college or collegiate athletics into a minor league system where they're making, again, the millions of dollars that a lot of these professionals, again, you're seeing it with how many of these football players stay in who aren't necessarily NFL caliber because they're making more money being a quarterback at Vanderbilt. He came out and said, I made more money being a quarterback here than I would going to get a job. So, I mean, we're right on the doorstep to how long until the schools still have an athletic team. They have the fandom, they have the support, they have the money making. How long until we totally cut athletics away from the academic portion, and it's all NIL and money and sports? And does the academic portion even matter?
They should have done this years ago, because that's why I chose baseballs, because you could go straight from, you can get drafted as a senior in high school and sign a contract, and you're employed by that team. And guess what? At that point, if they're making money off of you, you sign a contract. It's legit. Absolutely. You're making money. You're learning.
Only do that for certain sports. Only basketball and football are those are the predominantly African American sports, or shall I say the black sports. And they do that to those athletes. But any other sport, you can go pro right out of high school. You can go pro right out of your first year of college. Look at gymnastics. They out there doing the Olympics. I mean, you can't do that in college. I mean, in football or basketball, you can't do that. So not trying to not to cut you off, Gabe, but I mean, like you just said, senior out of high school, you can sign $1 million contract. Didn't Dion? He was already a millionaire, or he already had money before while he was playing at the University of he was at Florida State or Florida?
Florida
State.
Yeah, he was at Florida State already. He's talking about if you look good, you play good, you feel good. However you say his statement, he was already making that money. Can you imagine him having $1 million and what do you say? It's all about the money, and his teammates don't have it? He gets treated totally different. He can pull up in a Mercedes with, some spokes and some Vogues, and he good, and his teammates don't have that.
Yeah. That's why I say baseball. They got farm systems. They go down Latin America. None of these guys have educations. Come on, that's their key to get out. Whatever system, whatever ghettos they're in, whatever they're trying to get out of their countries, that they will bend over backwards. And there is no education tied to it. It is you're going straight into your career, and at that point, if you don't make it, then you don't make it. It's on your own accord. Where like what you're saying, the sports thing again, guys might have to go to play for sport, have to play 1 year at a college, and guess what happens if they break their leg in 2 places, and then their career's over. I mean, that's the risk. It doesn't make sense. I would just be like, hey, look, if this is what it is, let's do the farm system. Let's do a way to, they still need development. They still got to get their practice in. They still got to get all these things in. So why not create it in those terms? And because the colleges are still going to do what they do because they still got to make money off of this. They have to.
It always seems to boil back to that. Come back to that.
Once again, not trying to be funny, James, but the executives of the NCAA, we don't even know how much money they make annually. They've always hid that, right? Yeah. Why is it that they're making all of that money that they're making undisclosed, but yet you worry about whether or not somebody got a gift and now they're being suspended before NIL was there? Somebody said, hey, here's $50, go get you something to eat, go on a date with your girlfriend, and now all of a sudden it's a violation. But how much were those NCAA executives making? I got my degree. I got my degree. I got mine. Yeah. So can't take mine away from me. So I'm just coming to you from an athlete's perspective. I'm coming to you from someone who graduated, from a coach that looked me dead in the eye and said, education first, sports second. There was no development as far as trying to make you a better man. There was none of that. And not to say that he was a good coach or a bad coach or whatever you want to call it. I have my personal feelings, but I'm not to throw anybody under the bus, but there was no development, not from that university or the other university that I went to. Were there some life lessons that you learned along in that process? Yeah, there were, but not at the rate of what we're seeing Mr. Sanders doing over there at Colorado, not at the rate of what we're seeing Saban doing or what Saban did. Not to say that there's not other coaches, that are not doing that, but I mean, these are all about life lessons. And at the end of the day, college it's not even about the degree. Be honest. Most people went to college, didn't even get the degree, got the degree, and not even using the degree. College is all about the relationships. If you're not building relationships in college, then what are you there for?
That's a good point.
It's really about the relationships because you never know. Right Mr. Hicks has the CEO job and I need a job. And because me and him were partners or we worked on a project together, he saw my work ethic, I may get an opportunity. It's not about the degree. It was never about the degree. The degree was just only the prerequisite to just be able to have the invitation to sit down in front of the potential employer. It was the relationship because you were cum laude, you was frat, you was sorority, you was part of the glee club, you was part of the band. That's what it's all about. Now, you argue me up and down and say that's not what it's about, but is that not what normally happens? I hired my friend with, or there was some nepotism that was going on with a family member. Is that not normally how it go? So we can dance around it, but let's call a spade a spade.
And we're going to table that because we could keep going for a couple of hours.
Yeah, we can
Because
go
I
all
love
day with
that.
that, but
But
that
and
means
I will say
go
this:
ahead.
that's kind of keeping the main thing the main thing. I'll leave it. I'll leave it at that. Sports and education. Let's wrap this up because again, I don't want Kevin to get in trouble. I want to be cognizant. I see Kevin. He looking to the left and to the right. I don't want if he's supposed to be going somewhere.
I am all good.
I don't want you in trouble.
Nah, that's his way of getting out of it. That Kevin, you got to watch the show.
See,
cognizant in the area. If you watch
Kevin,
Kevin,
he's the star moderator. He is the managing moderator for the channel. So Kevin know how fickle I am. Claudia, we need to get you on because I'm loving your comments and she was throwing some jabs. Appreciate you for being here. Claudia Soto. We gonna keep you in our sights. There we go. Let's ask about the game, man. Let's go ahead and wrap it up because I wanted to go into some other things, but I want to save those probably for another time when I have you guys on. All right. Is anybody watching the game? Does anybody care about the Super Bowl? Who do you got as your do you care about the halftime? Do you care about anything that's going to be jumping off this weekend?
Seahawks.
Why? Is that because the rest of the states aren't rooting for Patriots?
Well, I just want to see the progression of Sam Darnold, his career. I mean, and then I would really love to see him win a Super Bowl because the other thing is I just hate New England. You can hate me, but I hate New England. They can suck it. I'm just going to be honest. They can take a big
Even the voters said something about New England for the fact that neither Belichick or Kraft got into the Hall of Fame first time around. I would have thought, again, all things being equal, the most Super Bowl rings for Belichick. What do you got, 8? He's at 6 with New England and 2. He's at 1 with Philly and 1 with the. He should be. Come on, you can't take that away just because you don't like who his girlfriend is right now. Oh Lord, what he drinking over there? See, we didn't turn this.
Now it's about to get interesting.
Yeah, he got some things on his mind, but it was real interesting to see Belichick not get in. Kraft, I don't know. I think there's just some things behind that, but I hear you on it. I'm gonna let everyone else go, but I like that. I'm the story guy, so I love the story. I love the underdog. I love the coach who come up who no one expected. I love the player who came in and no one expected. I'll give my thought, my prediction later. But Drake May, good story. Mike Vrabel, good dude. Good coach for good player coach. But I'll leave it at that. Kevin, who you got, man? You watching the game? You watching the game?
It's here in my backyard. I got nothing going on with it. It'll probably be on, but I don't really care, honestly. I think the way that Seattle's played in their defense, the way it is, I think New England's going to have a tough time. But I could see this being like a slugfest and turning into like a 7-14, like nothing going on Super Bowl too.
I didn't know Darnold was that good. To be honest with you, I forgot he was 3rd overall. Last couple of games I've been watching, I didn't realize he was that good. So we will see. But I agree with you. I agree with you. You gonna watch it just because in your backyard? Wait a minute. We're in your backyard because if I can cancel my hotel, which is little raised rates right now. I got my hotel that I go to Friday night.
Bizarre.
We'll sleep in your garage, brother. Don't worry, I'll sleep in your garage. I just need some place to plug the car in so it can charge, and we'll talk off. We'll talk off.
Absolutely.
Man, you can tell me twice. I'll call Booking.com in a minute and cancel. All right, squirrel moment. Tall boy, what you got, man? Who you looking at? This. I know Atlanta's not in it. We don't have no Falcons. Who you cheering for?
Unfortunately, this Super Bowl sucks. And I get it. Sometimes you got to have an off year. It can't always be what it is, right? The storyline is it New England and their storytell
Mm-hmm.
franchise of a former player that won the Super Bowl versus, and now he's now a coach and now he could potentially win. And you got Sam Darnold, and I think everybody wants the NFC team to win. If that makes sense, because it's like nobody wants to keep seeing New England win. Plus, I don't think the party is going to be awesome if they do win, as in New England. But to be honest with you, I really care more about the commercials. So I think
Oh,
that might be the winner, depending on how they're doing. I think for me, and I'm looking at this from a tech perspective, the development of AI.
yeah.
Will we see AI commercials? Will we see some pushback from some of those commercials? Shout out to Solo. He sent me a message this morning saying that we're about 24 to 36 months from seeing commercials not only in the Super Bowl, but probably about 24 to 36, months before we see AI commercials just in general. So when I saw that, I was like, I just saw the Kalshi commercial at the NBA Finals, and I went all in on Super Bowl commercials. So if I had to pick one, I'm going to go with the commercials. I think the Bad Bunny using the Apple Music, and with everybody, majority of Americans having Apple devices, knowing that they have that new release. And I know this has nothing to do with sports, but I think that that's definitely a storyline to see how people are going to understand the music that are in the stands, because we already know that it's not going to be more Latinos. It's going to be more Caucasians that will be in the stands than it will be Latinos. And so how are they going to be able to listen to and understand what's being said? And I think that had something to do with some of the Apple technology.
Because he's gonna do the whole thing in Spanish.
Yeah. So you said it's a social impact of sports. So I mean, these are the other storylines that I want to see. What tech are they using for the Super Bowl? How many cameras? What cameras did they use? I think that to me has more impact than the actual game. Because like Kevin and Gabe just said, it'll be on, but I don't care. It's not like, and not trying to be funny, the final four teams, it was like, do you want to see LA win? No. Do you really want to see Denver win? No, especially when the quarterback got hurt, and then here's the backup quarterback
nobody knew who that other dude was.
and then that didn't work out. So it's like, do I really want to see this? Nah, I really don't. So I just think that this is just one of those off years. I wonder how much of the Super Bowl, or how much did the NFL, for the people that think that the game is rigged, I want to know, because they knew that Bad Bunny was going to be performing, if they just said, let's just throw any two teams that nobody cares about, versus maybe seeing the Bills, or maybe even seeing the Philadelphia Eagles get in it, I don't know. I just think that it's going to be, I think it's the storylines around the game as opposed to the actual game.
I agree with you 100%. Storylines around the game, storylines around the performances, because just like what Marvin was saying, there's an event that's happening during when so Bad Bunny in and of itself is going to be a conversation piece. Is he going to do the whole thing in Spanish? More likely he is. And just that the whole aspect of that piece. But there's a couple of other events that are happening at the same time. Back in the day, okay, in all transparency, so I used to work for BGP, Bill Graham Presents, and Clear Channel Entertainment. So I've secured Kid Rock before. And back in the day, back about 15 years ago, he was cool. but that's going to be happening behind the scenes or at another venue. I think they're going to be in San Francisco for that one, but we're going to be in Santa Clara. Just the stuff around it. The AI commercials, who was it? Coca-Cola and Budweiser did a whole bunch of commercials last year that took very little time to develop, took nobody to actual act, and the fact that they were all AI generated and probably had the most conversation around them was an interesting thing. I think is going to be a huge discussion as well. You're right, the stuff around the game, as opposed to, except for the folks in the Pac Northwest and except for the folks in New England.
England.
Shout
Our
out to
Steelers did
Claudia. I
great.
really like Claudia because I
Claudia
don't
the
think she
truth.
heard what I said.
Claudia the
I
truth.
don't think she heard what I said. Who is going to be at the game? I didn't say
We're gonna be watching.
No, yeah, I didn't say who's going to be watching. I said who will be in the game. And if you
'Cause
go
that would
back
be-
and look at majority of the Super Bowls, who's primarily inside of the game? Because I don't know too
Yeah.
many people that can afford a $20,000 ticket. So how are they
What?
getting it through sponsors or through their job or just winning a lottery? I just don't see people spending anything over
Yeah, it's probably gonna be the staff.
$2,000 for a Super Bowl ticket. I just don't see the average American doing that. So once again, the response was, or the what I said was, the people that are at the game, not the people watching, the people at the game are primarily going to be more white or Caucasian people than it will be Latino, which is going to be Bad Bunny. And I think that's why there was an uproar, because it was like, we don't want that. And Apple said, or Jay-Z, or whoever the powers that may be said, what? He's performing, whether you like it or not. Is that not what happened?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That means that would have been two Super Bowls they wouldn't have watched the halftime show, because they sure as hell didn't love Kendrick Lamar.
but look, Kendrick Lamar showed up and showed out.
Won all them Grammys. Won all them Grammys. I'm trying to pull it up right now to wrap this up. Kevin or Gabe, you got anything you want to say on that while I pull this up real quick and bring us home?
Yeah, just, would you go with the AI commercials? I don't know if you guys have seen the commercials that Claude has done, because OpenAI is now announcing they're going to start doing commercials or sponsors through their AI. So you're going to be watching it. You're going to be using AI, and they're going to put sponsors into however they're generating your prompts or whatever's coming out. Claude made a commercial making fun of this. So if you have not seen that one, that's kind of great too, because they really do touch on point about where this world of AI and how it's interjecting with everything, even in the Super Bowl. So I'll guess I'll be quiet about that. I'm just, I miss a blowout.
Talk, Gabe. Talk your talk.
Talk, because I'm bringing it up, and it shows.
I ain't watching it. I want to see all the technology that's going around for me to have $18,000 to go in.
You see these ticket prices, right? So
hey, look, $10 million for a 30-second commercial. So let's be honest. At $10 million for a 30-second commercial, last year it was $8 million, but $10 million for somebody. Hey, these celebrities want their coin. Hey, you don't think that, hey, if you're going to run me 10 million, I'm better start using these AI prompts and save me some coin? I'm just being honest.
The only thing I'm
in the 402 section to get some tickets for $4,992, you said? Nah,
that's the cheapest ticket right there, $5,082 in the 400 section.
I miss a good Super Bowl.
I agree with you, Solo.
I agree. I need a Super Bowl blowout. I have not had one of those in a while. I want to see a good one. I want to see a team get blown the doors out. If it's going to be boring and I'm not going to pay attention, at least I want to look at the score afterwards and say, oh my God, they got beat, 45-8. It's crazy. I miss those days.
Yeah, I love it. We will see. And y'all, God willing, we do okay. We will be reporting live from the events. We're going to start.
Who is we?
Team No Sleep, me and Martel will. I'm sorry.
Why is he not here? I just want to know why he not here.
I'm not. He might be,
because this is supposed to be the pre-show for the show. Am I right?
Don't make me. Don't.
No, because he gonna watch the replay.
I'm gonna say something.
Always starting something. But no, I'm just saying. You know that the week before the Super Bowl, you got a show, and why are you not here? I'm just asking. Why are you not here? I understand, but why you not here? Hey, I'm just saying.
I'm gonna cut that up. Hey, Kevin, I'm gonna cut that up. That's gonna be a short in like 2 hours.
Is what I need to say. So that's why he asked me to be on the show.
Yeah, Tall Boy is my 5 to 9, and I'm the 9 to 5. That's how we break it down. But he and I will be there at some more events. We will be having breakfast with a lot of the players at a specific event. Hopefully, we'll get into some more parties as well, like we did last couple of years. We'll do some live streaming and do some on-site interviews. So y'all keep following the channel. Do the thing that digital creators always say like, subscribe, and share, and do that. Tallboy calling me out. Yeah, Thrive Hive. Come on, man. Lord have mercy.
Can I say that I know you? Can I say that I know you if you run on the field and they capture you?
Well,
Like I can say I
guilty
know
by
that guy.
association. You don't want to do
will
that.
whoop his ass if he
Yeah.
ran on the field. Talking about you embarrassed me, and
Yeah.
now they gonna have me all over the internet. And then nah, James ain't running on no field. And then Mr. Hicks Sr., he gonna be down there with the bail money over there whooping his ass when he get up out of there.
The first year that
And
I
then
said I was
Mama
going to do
Hicks
that
gonna
was
get back
Rihanna when she
"Man,
did it.
What was you thinking?" And then the kids gonna be looking at Daddy. Really? I know it's Bad Bunny, but you too old. Come on, stop.
I mess around and pull a hammy. I pull a
Now, if
hammy
it was
trying
Janet
to.
Jackson doing that, I could see him running out there, and I could see Mr. Hicks saying, "Okay, son, I see why you did it. I see." But Bad Bunny, I can't see him.
Can't see me doing it.
Mr. Hicks gonna have a whole rod for him. He ain't gonna have a belt. And he ain't gonna have the extension, but he gonna have a rod.
You gonna chop down the tree and get all the switches. Listen, folks, I hope y'all had fun. Hope we were able to enlighten, educate, and entertain. This is what we do. This is the caliber of folks that we bring on here to these types of events, these types of sessions. I know that the majority are with us. I saw a minority who didn't like some of the conversation, and that's all good.
Yes, they did.
Was that?
Yes, they did. They enjoyed it because they stayed and they gave you the watch hours. You better put some respect on their name.
Talking about watch hours, brother.
You got to find the positive in this, James. See, James, like I said, I say what James wants to say. James says what I need to say. They stayed, James, whether they liked it or not. Am I right, Kevin? Come on. Snap your fingers, Kevin, if you like it. If I'm talking, snap your fingers. They stayed. If they didn't like it, if you don't like something, you going to leave. Why are you going to go back and forth with somebody if you don't like it? Just be honest. I'm just saying.
This right here is the best sports. Thrive Hive and Claudia Soto, I want y'all to DM me because I want to send y'all your personal discount code should you want some merch from the channel.
You got to send Solo a discount code too so he can get some merch.
Is that right?
He was in the comments.
He was in the comments. All right, reach out to me. Y'all reach out to me. I want to send y'all personal discount. They're gonna be highly discounted.
Don't say I never did nothing for you.
I don't want to say them online because I'm gonna give y'all a little extra something. So find a way to DM me or leave a comment in the stream so I can send y'all something. Gabe, Kevin, I'm gonna call you by your government name, Mr. Sanders. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
I appreciate you having the opportunity to be here and be a part of this. We've talked about it a long time, and it's truly an honor to be here and be up here on screen and be a part of it, like legitly. So thank you.
You always have keys to the front door, brother. It's all good. Appreciate you. Gabe, you good?
I'm good, brother. Trust me. I've been enjoying this. I'm laughing a lot at what I'm seeing in the comments with Tallboy saying. I'm just having a blast. You could have been keeping this all night. I would have been enjoying it. This might have been better than the Super Bowl. So there you go.
He said it, ladies and gentlemen. Tallboy, tell him. Go and bring us home. Take us home. I'm gonna let you take us home.
Look, y'all, this is not your average conversation that you're going to have. We're not going to talk about the stuff that you see on the timeline that's coming down your social feeds. We're not going to do all of that. That's not what we do over here. If you like the content that you just saw, hit the like button. Matter of fact, don't even hit the like button. Just hit the subscribe button because this is what he do every week. Now, I'm not going to be here next week or whenever he do it again. Gabe and man, I forgot the boy name already. Kevin. They may not be here. But if you like this content, just hit the subscribe button. He need the followers, y'all. Tell 2 or 3 people, because that's what we do. It's Team No Sleep.
Team No Sleep, we up all night. Montel and James keep the convo tight. Sports and culture where they collide. Tune in, lock in, let's take that ride. To Mike, to King, no snooze allowed. From the court to the block, we speak it loud. Social impact where the game align. Crossovers and causes intertwine. We the voice from the streets to arenas. Breaking down plays from LeBron to Serena. Whistle blow and the world reacts. Sports and the struggle, the cold hard facts. Team No Sleep, we talking real deep, real deep. Hip Hip-hop sports, no counting sheet. Know the field to the booth, we tell the truth. Team no sleep, we